Hello, clever people, and welcome to my review for On the Basis of Sex. So this movie stars Felicity Jones and Armie Hammer, and it tells the true story of Ruth Bader Ginsburg, or RBG. They just made a documentary about her, and it's a dramatized version of the story, and it follows Felicity Jones, who plays RBG, as she is struggling in a world that is very sexist. And she got multiple degrees. She got a degree at Harvard, and she got a degree at another college I'm forgetting, but she took on her, her husband's workload when it got really bad, when he got sick, and at the same time she was raising a child. She was a very busy woman. She worked very hard, and she still couldn't get a job being a lawyer just because of the way that the world worked, and it was very, very sad. And so she went on to teach classes, and she eventually discovered a case that had sex-based discrimination in it, which she believed, by the definition of the Declaration of Independence, should be illegal. But there have been a lot of other cases on sex-based discrimination that didn't go through, so she was facing that, and it's about the stress and everything in her life. That was a very long description because this movie does pack a lot in. On the Basis of Sex, I was looking forward to it because it was well reviewed. People seemed to be liking it. It wasn't as well reviewed as people were expecting because this movie was definitely a wannabe Oscar contender. It came out on Christmas Day in limited theaters and opened wide in January, and it seemed like they were doing a lot of awards pushing for it, but didn't really get nominated for anything so far, and it's definitely not going to for anything else. And because of that, I was worried that On the Basis of Sex was going to be some pretentious wannabe Oscar movie, like a lot of these movies end up being. But surprisingly enough, it wasn't. Sometimes we need to remember that when we put Oscar expectations on a movie, that's us putting it on it. That's not always the movie putting it on itself. And in this case, On the Basis of Sex does not. In fact, it very much knows that it's not an Oscar movie. It knows that. And it takes itself very lightly, even though it's a very serious subject matter. It doesn't try to be too stark or serious about it. It is still just very entertaining, honestly. It's very fast-paced. It keeps it going. You never get bored. You never want to check your watch. You never want to leave. It is constantly going at a fast rate, and it does keep you entertained. And of course the performances are good in it. You have a lot of really well-trained actors in here, so of course they're really, really good. And, outside of that, the movie doesn't have a whole lot to offer, but I don't really mind that. It's not trying to be something extraordinary. It fits the time frame, it fits what it should, it entertains the demographic that it should, and in the end, it was just a fine movie. I don't have too many problems about it. I only really have good things to say about it, but it still wasn't like it was spectacular or anything. I just went out of the theater with a smile on my face, having enjoyed the time that I had. I will give On the Basis of Sex a 7 out of 10. Alright, that concludes my review for On the Basis of Sex. So, what are your thoughts on this film, or what do you think of the new RBG documentary? Comment in the comments section below, and let me know. I'm Robert Burke, and this has been The Clever Critics. Goodbye.